Good morning. Good to see you. Hopefully you're staying warm. I know I am. Always do with the 3-coat method. So I've been wanting to make another video outlining more clearly what I mean by brokering properties, building community. And the brokering properties part, crystal clear. That's a really well-defined process. It's the building community portion that's way more messy than what I thought. Let me tell you what I mean. Brokering properties doesn't take much imagination to define. There's not really a lot of room for imagination. I've been in real estate now for 2 years and I'm approaching my 30 property sales mark. I start working on my broker's license. So I've practiced a lot in the process of delivering a product to a client. That's very easy to define. The portion that's messy is building community. Now, to illustrate the power of community, but also its messiness, how many of you noticed that I only had 2 coats that I took off? Think about it. If you didn't catch it, go back to the footage. I only had 2 coats on. Was that bothering anybody? I got the 3-coat method from my friend Adam Van Zee, who's a teacher over at Chief Joseph Middle School. Now that guy is building community and the future leaders of our nation. I think early 2000s, he and I were talking about how bad my coat was. I bought my coat in college and I paid a grand total of $435 for a shell and a liner. I'm not gonna tell you the brand, there's no sense in throwing people under the bus, but needless to say, it was a lot of money for a really trendy logo. I had the coat for about 11 years, but it didn't fit my body well. It wasn't super warm and it was just kind of clunky overall. I was hanging out with my friend Adam and the zipper in my coat kept busting open. I think it was on my 3rd time zipping my coat back up when I finally yelled, "That's it! I need a new coat!" And Adam says, "No, you need 3. 3 coats." I spent over $400 on 1 coat, and now you're telling me I need 3? Genius that he is, he explained his 3-coat method, saved me money, and now I'm set up to punch any inclement weather in the face. If you've got time to wait, here's the 3 coats that you're gonna need. He said, number 1, you start out with a raincoat, then you find a down-filled coat, and then you go for the coupe de grace and buy yourself a really high-end outer shell. I waited till I found all 3 coats on sale and I bought my raincoat for $99. I bought my down-filled coat also for $99. And the deal of all deals, I bought my Arc'teryx outer shell for $137. Yes, please. You total all that up and it comes to the grand total of $335. So now I had 3 coats for under the price that I paid for 1 really crappy coat. So here's how the 3-coat method works. Let's say you're going into the fall and it's just cold enough and windy enough that you can't get by with just a fleece, so you throw on your rain jacket to cut the wind and it helps increase your insulation value. Then you move into winter a bit more and it's cold but not wet or blowing, so you throw on your down-filled coat with a light base layer and you're good to go. Ski season starts and there's fresh snow coming down with a little wind, so you grab your down-filled coat and rain jacket and head to the hill. The awesome thing about rain jackets is most of them have self-contained pockets that you can stuff it into and then throw it into your pack or pocket if the weather warms up. And finally, you and some buddies decide to snowmobile to the Saddle of Sacagawea on the height of winter and you don't want to get caught with your pants down. So you stuff your raincoat into your pack along with a couple more base layers, throw on your down-filled coat with your outer shell, and off you go. So now you're 6 miles back in the backcountry and Montana and Mother Nature decide to team up and throw the worst weather at you that you've ever seen. You've got a base layer, down-filled layer, raincoat, and shell, and bada boom, bada beam, there ain't no cold you have seen in Montana that you cannot best with this 3-coat combo. At this point, you might be thinking, neat methodology, brah, but did you forget where you were going? You were telling us about how developing mission for building community is messy. And no, I didn't forget. I think the experience that I had with my friend illustrates perfectly why developing vision for building community is a messy process. I had an issue with an aspect of my life that I thought I knew how to fix. My coat was broken and I said, I need a new coat. My friend, based on his experience and his life perspective, said, no, you don't need a coat, you need 3 coats. Not only was his insight on my outdoor gear better and has helped me to combat the elements here in Montana way better than my approach, he also saved me money. And that's where I think the experience with my friend of receiving the 3-coat methodology from him fits really well into understanding why developing vision for building community can be so messy. I had invested a lot of money in a resource and used it for over 11 years. And if I bowed the knee to his new methodology and said, I'm gonna switch it up, I'm gonna buy 3 coats versus 1, then I ran the risk of saying, well, what about my methodology? What about the money that I spent and all the years that I've used just 1 coat? Was that all a waste? Am I bad? Are my insights bad? And there can be a lot of pride then that crops up in me in not wanting to let go of my approach on how to deal with the weather in Montana. However, when I listened to my friend, and that's key, he's my friend, we had built relationships such that I trusted his insights, and that even though it sounded weird, buy 3 coats instead of 1 coat when 1 coat was really expensive, even though it sounded weird, because he was my friend, because we built relationship, I was willing to step out on a limb and try something new. And to this day, I haven't regretted it. And that's why I'm not ready to roll out a clear definition of what building community is going to look like in my real estate practice. I have lots of ideas. There's lots of things that I've been trying for a number of years and they've worked pretty well. They haven't been too expensive, but I'm not sure if they're the best. And so before I adopt a tool in my real estate practice to start applying, especially towards my community where it doesn't just involve me, I want to receive insight from my community on how I move forward in this. And that's where it's messy. I don't just get to develop this stuff behind closed doors, nail it down, and then spring it on my community and say, now fit into my model. As I learned with my friend, it might not be the best. So the best that I can do for now on giving clear vision on building community in my real estate practice and what that's going to look like is that I know that I want to build relationships with people. I want to hear their insights and I want to give it a try. You never know. As we have conversations, we might discover the 3-coat method for helping protect Bozeman against economic shifts or recessions, or helping address poverty or cultural change or community growth, or accepting people from outside of our state, or helping working class families get into stable housing situations, or improving our school systems. I know I have ideas and I know that I've been doing things for a long time, but that doesn't mean that they're the best. I want to be open to input from my community on how I develop my personal practice. I know I'll be a lot better as a result. I hope this video has been super helpful for you guys. If not anything else to learn about how to combat the weather in Montana, give it a shot. I have not been sorry at all. I saved money and I have way better gear, way better position to combat the cold and to enjoy myself and everything that Montana's got to throw at us. If you liked the video, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload new videos, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.